Okay, you guys. Okay, you guys. So I thought today we could do something a little bit fun. I picked out a bunch of our vocabulary cards. And let's see, I think there's 5. Yes, I've chosen 5 that seem kind of random at first, but I came up with a way that they are all connected. And I want to challenge you to see if you can come up with a way also. Maybe you will think of the same thing that I did, or maybe you'll think of something entirely different. So let me tell you what our words are, and then I'm going to suggest that you actually pause the video and give it some thought. Maybe even an hour, a couple hours, a day, a couple days. Maybe do a little research, maybe ask your family at home, see what ideas you can get of how these things might be connected. Okay, so our first one is friction. Friction is one of my favorite scientific concepts, and we all, I think, understand it pretty well. This says a force that slows or stops things that are touching. Objects get warmer when they rub together. So in science, we talk a lot about friction being when you're rubbing your hands together and they get hot. It's also friction is what slows cars down, like your Hot Wheels as they're going across the floor. It's why they don't just continue going and going and going, because friction slows them down, right? Okay. Friction can also do a lot of interesting work as well. It changes landscapes. It can change rocks over time, the friction between the water flowing over rocks, things like that. Okay, so that's our first word, friction. Our next word is insect. We all know this one pretty well, a kind of animal that has 3 body parts, and 6 legs. Okay, so we've got insect, friction, insect. Our next word is tadpole. A young frog that comes out of an egg and has gills to take in oxygen from the water. Okay, we all know tadpoles turn into frogs, of course. And so this is our third word, tadpole. Okay. Our next word is electricity. A form of energy. People produce electricity by using energy from different sources. Of course, we're most familiar with the electricity that comes out of a light switch in our house, but there's lots of other types of electricity and lots of other ways that electricity is created. Hint, hint, okay? And our last word is river, a large body of flowing water. What kind of water is in a river? Yes, fresh water, of course. Rivers are fresh water. So those are our 5 words. So again, we've got river, electricity. Let me see if I can hold these so that you can see them all. Tadpole. Okay, here's our 3. Insect is 4. And friction is 5. So pause the video and give it some thought. What do these have to do with each other? How can you go from one to the other to the other to the other and make a complete thought for how they are all connected? All right, good luck. Pause the video and then come back to see what I was thinking, and let's see if we thought the same thing or if you thought something entirely different. Okay. If you didn't pause the video, a little bit of cheating, but that's okay, because I'm going to go right into what I was thinking. Okay. I first started with friction. Friction's a rubbing force. One of the cool things about friction is that it is what can change the shape and direction of a river. One of the things that I loved studying when I was in college was all about river geology. I thought that was so fascinating when the water flows and it actually makes things called cut banks and slip-off slopes. I was so into that. I was so into curvy rivers and what are those called? Horseshoe lakes and all of that sort of geology. So friction causes a straight river to start meandering. And what lives in rivers? Tadpoles. And of course, tadpoles, we know, turn into frogs. And what do frogs eat? Frogs are actually omnivores, they eat anything. But one of their most common food sources is insects. Okay, so I got to insects and I've got one word left, electricity. Did you know that scientists are currently working on figuring out how to harness the insects' movements, their legs rubbing together, their wings rubbing together to actually generate electricity? That's so cool. It's really state of the art. I will see if I can either link some, give you some links for how to check it out. You can of course just Google like insects creating electricity. I'll see if I can attach some pictures here at the end to show you that insects actually right now are being used to come up with new ways to create electricity. Of course, it's not a lot, it's teeny tiny, but that's okay, it counts. And that is how I got all 5 of these words connected. I would love to hear how you connected them. Did you do the same? Or were you thinking a little bit differently? Let me know. You can either drop that into your Seesaw folder. There should be a science folder now in every grade for Seesaw, so you can do it there, or just shoot me an email or leave a comment here after this video, because I would love to hear how you did. Okay, we'll do another one of these. All right, bye you guys.